Thanks for joining us again for our series on legal and economic considerations for hemp, brought to you by Texas A&M AgriLife Extension faculty and the Southern Extension Risk Management Education Center. Today we're going to talk about hemp commodity prices. As I said on our earlier budgeting video, the dynamics of pricing hemp change depending on what hemp commodity you are producing. There are different types of hemp commodities. I think the one that brought us all to this market in the first place was CBD. This is the oil that goes into consumable products that is a byproduct of hemp production. Hemp fiber is another key output of hemp that is on the horizon, potentially for the western part of Texas as well. And hemp grain is a third product that we consider as an output for hemp production models. First, we'll talk about the pricing for CBD. This is probably the most unusual pricing model that is in the hemp product market. CBD is priced on a percentage of CBD content per pound of hemp dry matter. So when you sell your hemp and it is dried, they measure the percentage of CBD remaining in that plant as part of its weight, and you are paid based on that percentage. So we would look at that in terms of revenue calculations on a per acre basis as CBD as a percentage of total dry matter weight, i.e. in our example 6.5% of total dry matter, multiplied by the dry matter weight, which we're going to consider at about 1,250 pounds, multiplied by the price, which we're going to say is about 55 cents per percent of CBD per pound of dry matter. All of that multiplied together yields us a final revenue per acre of $4,468.75. The two key variables in this pricing structure are the percentage of CBD that you achieve when you produce a hemp crop and the price of CBD available to you. Prices vary depending on the month. We've seen a substantial collapse in prices over the last 2 years as hemp production has increased, and the variability in CBD content as a percentage of dry matter is substantial. CBD is correlated with THC in overall production, and so one of the key risk components to keep in mind is that as you push your crop to have a higher CBD content, it's important to keep in mind the potential levels of THC, which could make your crop hot or out of compliance. As I said earlier, there's been quite a bit of variability in the CBD price over the last few years. We have here November 19 prices on the left-hand side, all the way out to December 20 prices from the Pan Exchange Commodity Exchange website. This is the biomass spot price on a percentage of CBD content on the average price index. What we have here, you can see, is a price falling from $1 per percent down to about 55 cents per percent. At one point in time, this price was well above $4.50. Whenever you're considering your budget, it's very important that you look at current prices or reach out to an AgriLife faculty member to get their input on prices, because the prices are so variable and they will change based on your location, because delivery prices or the charge to get your crop to a processor may vary. Now we'll talk about hemp grain. This one's a little bit easier and pretty common with most of our grain models. Grain is priced on a per pound of production basis, so that means our revenue per acre is calculated as the weight of seeds in pounds. For our example, we'll consider 1,000 pounds multiplied by the price. Currently, based on, again, that Pan Exchange data, we're looking at about 50 cents per pound of grain produced. That's going to yield us a final revenue per acre of about $500. What that means is that you place this revenue into your budget, weigh it against your cost, and determine whether or not you have a profit. Our final market that we want to consider is the market for hemp fiber. Hemp fiber, again, is based on a per pound basis. We have revenue per acre, which is calculated as weight of fiber in pounds. So we're going to consider about 10,000 pounds of production on a given acre, multiplied by about 10 cents per pound, which is an approximation of the current price. That gives us a final revenue per acre of about 1,000. One of the key components to consider, which we'll talk about in a cost section of this series, is the cost to haul hemp fiber. There are not very many fiber processing plants in the country, and so the distance for which you have to haul your fiber is going to be a key component on whether or not this revenue yields you a profit in the end. Please take our survey at the end of this video. Thank you for watching.